existential threat. How do we 25th Amendment his ass?
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment is harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate.
So what do we do?
Tackle Trump and pretend, let him pretend he's president and publicly report that he's going through a health issue and Vance take over.
A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. And so
a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. That is the definition of genocide.
This is why the 25th Amendment was written. It was ratified in 1967, authorizing the vice president and a majority of the cabinet to remove the president from power.
Well, guys, you seen it, you heard it. President Trump saying an entire civilization will die tonight, and basically everyone's turning against him for this. You know, I mean, of course, people like me are not, and I'm sure probably most of you guys are not either, but you got people like Alex Jones, Candace Owens, of course, she been turned against him, and so did Alex Jones, the Hodgetwins. Like, all of these people are straight up developing TDS right before our eyes, and I think a big part of it is this anti-Israel sentiment, okay? Like, these people are so convinced that President Trump is, I guess, become a puppet for Israel for whatever reason. They believe that that's the only reason why this is happening, irrespective of the fact that Iran is partially responsible for many attacks that have directly occurred against the United States and have promised to attack the United States after they finish off Israel. But guys, I want to go ahead and show you some of the meltdowns here. There are so many. Of course, the fake news is melting down. Of course, the radical left Democrats are melting down. And even a bunch of conservative pundits are melting down. And it is quite the sight to see. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
A remarkable, if not shocking, threat today from President Trump to Iran, population 93 million. He said, quote, "A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death will finally end. God bless the great people of Iran." Obviously, this is a threat to wipe out a civilization. Iran is 93 million people.
A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. Oh, God. I mean, if this is his version of making a deal, well, you tell me. Do you see any sense in it? I don't. I only see destruction in it. Even if ultimately a deal were to be made, it will have been made by careful conversations and maybe even feisty conversations. I don't know. I'm never in the rooms, but
Quiet. War crimes and desperation alert from Donald Trump. What he's proposing here is war crime. He just posted this, or war crimes. A whole civilization will die tonight. Donald Trump doesn't have a move. If I was in an altercation with someone or some sort of fight, whatever it might be, and I saw them post or say something like this, I would say, oh, we got them. They're on their back heels. So let's continue on doing what we're doing and just let them be the ones that act out. They have all the leverage. They're not going to open the straits. He's not going to obliterate them unless he wants to commit war crimes and end up in an international criminal court. So Donald Trump, this bluster is crazy. He has no options, but we do. The 25th Amendment. Now,
Trump just announced that, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight at 8 p.m. He's literally threatening war crimes against the Iranian people. Hundreds of thousands of people may die and the global economy will be sent into chaos. We need an immediate ceasefire. Cooler heads must prevail. Iran, Israel, and the United States must stop the bombing and end this war.
And while no one really expects that President Trump is going to kill 93 million people, the threat itself is remarkably shocking.
U.S. officials privately are describing Trump as a bloodthirsty mad dog who is allegedly going around asking advisors whether he can call the day he blows up bridges and roads and infrastructure in Iran, quote, infrastructure day.
Not a war, not a defensive war, but a literal bombardment, like Martians, attack us and we don't have a defense. And I want to be clear, I am proud I backed Trump the last 10 years. So much good happened. Globalism was absolutely discredited and dismantled. It's part of a larger wave worldwide. But this new Trump really started when Elon Musk got run out of there. In the last 8 months is a disaster.
Now, guys, here is the deal with Trump. Now, this is one of the things that I don't think makes a whole lot of sense. You even got people like stupid Piers Morgan out here who is directly called out the Democrats for allowing their TDS to make them just jump immediately anytime Trump says anything. However, he's doing the same thing here today.
Those words should be chilling to not only the Iranian people, but to everybody. US presidents don't threaten genocide because the US is not capable of genocide. At least that's the world we all grew up in. There's this whole thing about, you shouldn't take everything Trump says literally, shouldn't take it overly seriously. But what else are we supposed to do when the president of the United States literally posts a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again? I don't want that to happen, but it probably will, about Iran and the 90 million people that live there. What else are we supposed to do with that but take it seriously and literally?
Now, why this doesn't make sense is that Trump has literally been making threats against Iran plenty of times. Like he's given them deadlines and made threats, and he does that all the time. He did it with Putin. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff with Hamas, right, with the hostages. This is how Trump works. He's actually done this before. Maybe not this exact threat to destroy an entire civilization, but he's done this before. This appears to me like it's just something that he's trying. Now, okay, if you got the plane fly over, and then it's a nuke, and suddenly 90 million people just suddenly wiped off the face of the earth like that. Okay, cool. Then, okay, it's 25th Amendment time, but these people are melting down literally off of idle threats. Something to me that makes absolutely no sense, because we know that this is how Trump operates when it comes to certain individuals. They're saying this isn't how you negotiate. Well, guys, they tried negotiating before the bombs started dropping. The reason why the bombs started dropping is because the negotiations were basically just, hey, we almost got bombs as big as your bomb, so what's up? And America wasn't having it. If you say you got enriched uranium and you're close to being ready to go toe-to-toe with Israel, United States, whoever, and we're not having it, then the bombs start dropping. That's not really a negotiation. That's them saying, like, we about to square up with you, so what's up?
Now, our chief negotiator said they were talking to Iran up until the war started. He said their opening salvo was at the negotiations. We're a couple of weeks away from having 11 bombs. They were bragging about it. If you were the president and you got that information, you'd still do nothing?
I never said...
I'm asking.
No, what I would do, and what the president of the United States failed to do, was be clear with the American people about what the hell we were doing here.
I think people have an idea.
What was the reason we went in?
Well, everything you said. The nukes, regime change, and just to reshuffle the deck in the Middle East. That nothing was ever really going to get better there until that regime went away.
And the United States said, okay, well, we're going to stage a preemptive attack against you so that you can't attack us because you're threatening to kill us on a regular basis. That's all that happened. This is classic Trump. He wanted to elicit a response, and clearly a response is what he got. But I think that if you think that this is a doomsday countdown, as though all of these people, men, women, and children, are literally going to be wiped off the face of the earth in a mere another roughly, at the time of this recording, 7 hours, my time, then I think that you are a complete fool. Though Trump does like to execute on a lot of his threats, like, because, I guess people feel like, well, true, what Trump say, Trump do. That's true sometimes, but it has never been true for something that has been this far. And like I said before, you had the whole Russia-Ukraine conflict, which is still going, by the way, and you had the Hamas-Israel conflict, and he made plenty of threats for that. And really, I would say with the one, maybe like one exception, Hamas caved, but usually nobody really does anything. The date passes, and then the left just moves on to the next thing that they want to have insane levels of TDS for. So I think that people need to get their panties up out of a bunch. Okay, like if you're a dude, then take the tampons out. They shouldn't be there anyway. Okay, and you need to relax, because this is a whole thing that's been going on for years. Since this has been going on for like longer than a lot of people even been alive. So it's probably going to continue for longer than we're even going to be on this earth. It's just going to be ongoing. And it's probably not going to stop until Iran does get a nuclear weapon and decides to nuke us. That's probably when it's going to start slowing down, is when they start attacking us, because they got better technology. But if we wanted to nuke them, we could have done it a long time ago. I don't think that today is that day. But these are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Shout out to my members, patrons, and fellow anomalies: Cyber Noodle, 655, The Great, Bella Scott, Carpentier John, and Pinecone 6. I appreciate you guys every single day.
We feel